Okay, I was just going for a walk and got back and working around this idea. So I wanted to share it with you. I wanted to give you guys exclusive access as I'm working out this model. And this is what I call actually the confidence highway. A lot of parents, whether you're separated from your family, whether you're together with your family, whether we are separated, divorced, without partners, with partners, we all have different situations, right? And the thing that I think we can all agree on is that we want to raise confident kids, isn't it? So I created this confidence highway. So I'm going to go over what it looks like, what it is. Let me fix this lighting situation. And then how we can use it and what it means as parents, right? What does it look like in real life situations? So the confidence highway is really essentially, like I've mentioned before, the confidence highway, it has to start with us. It has to start with us as leaders, because if we cannot give to our kids what we don't have, right? If I don't have oranges, can I give them an orange? No, right? Same thing with love, self-care, confidence, whatever characteristics, we should seek to embody that, right? And demonstrate that, because kids model our behavior, right? So we want to, and a lot of people, we are not confident, and a lack of confidence will lead to worrying about what other people are thinking, getting in our heads. What are they going to think? Do they think I'm a bad mother, a bad father? What do they think? What are they doing? What are they doing wrong that I can judge, because I'm worried about what they are judging about me? Because why? Because we're lacking confidence, right? If you're confident that you are making the best decisions possible right now, and you're in control, and you're in that win cycle, and you're conscious about what you're doing, and you have your triggers under control, or at least you're using these tools to manage them, then it's a lot easier to be confident, and it's a lot easier to be able to take comments of people like take control of your kids or whatever, like it becomes a lot easier, because you have the secret sauce. The game. When you're conscious, the game. So that way people that are judging you, or that kind of judgment, they're not even aware of this game, or they are aware of it, but their triggers and their background is controlling them. It has to be, because they're judging. If they're judging you, that's a trigger. That's not growth. But anyway, that's beside the point. But how do we get that internal confidence that we are making the right decisions? We're using these tools, these success tools, these patient tools, these steps and processes to make the most conscious decision. And here's how it works. But here's the thing. We're on a confidence highway. There are detours and distractions that can take us. We're on the confidence highway. Have you ever been in those moments where, like, yeah, you just feel it, you're in the zone, and then something happens? You get a detour, you get a distraction. And by the way, a lot of people, like, they expect negative things to come from, like, well, we'll get into it, like triggers and shadows, right? The detours, the dangers, it gets cut off. Fear, essentially. This is like Fear Boulevard, right? So thoughts of your failures, thoughts of the mistakes you've done. These what I call raccoons. Like, these are raccoons, like Raccoon Alley. These are raccoons. They fill your head with triggers, or like when you heard like you're worthless, or you're bad, or you're this, or you're that. And guess what? We've all heard them. If they weren't from parents and or teachers, they were from their kids. They were from older cousins, younger cousins, whatever. They came. So, but those are distractions. Those are detours. Those are things that if we do fall victim to those, that's when in the moment we do what we can to get in the present moment, the timeline. But then once we're there, like, Am I making the best decision? That's when, if these triggers and shadows take control, you use cycle breaker, be like, hey, separate emotionally. Oh, look, you're never with your children. You're a failure. You're this, you're that. Look at what everyone's saying. Which is detours, taking you off the confidence highway. But here's the thing, once you're aware, this is the beautiful thing about this, because awareness gives you the power, gives us the power. Like, I'm so grateful for you, because sharing these things, and then for you to take leadership for a partner, for yourself, for other people in the community, for your children, right? That's where leadership happens. Then you become the leader. This is really the confidence highway, but like leadership highway, the leadership highway. In fact, I should have put that in blue. In fact, I will, because I'm visual. I'm a visual learner. The leadership highway, the confidence highway. But then you have distractions. So it's not just our shadows and triggers that distract us. It's not just that. And then, by the way, that leads to a life, a family that is out of control. Why? Because our triggers are controlling us. Our past generations cycles that we've learned, and our parents learned, and our parents' parents learned, and both from both sides, our mother and father, and whoever was another caretaker, they were all influencing us. And then that's causing our triggers. And then when the triggers, you keep down that path, they take over. And then you have yourself that's out of control, our family that's out of control, our kids are out of control. Then people start saying, you got to take care of your kids. And then you'll let the triggers get more hold. And then we will end up doing things that we then regret or cause guilt. And we took control of our kids, but was it? That's what we can think about them. Like, is it? Like, is that? No, because to me, that leads to an out of control family. But also, there are also distractions. And distractions are things like entertainment, food, like instant gratification, sex, and like none of these things are bad. Maybe some of them are bad, like Coke or Coca-Cola too. And but food isn't bad. Entertainment is not bad. Video games aren't bad. Sports aren't bad. But you hang out here too long, you let that control, we let that control how we parent and those decisions. We let those control that. And then we have a family out of control. And then we lean into permissive parenting. And that gives gentle parenting and conscious parenting a bad name, because they are letting food and entertainment control the kid. This is where like bribing with candy, you go now, like I'll give you candy, or we'll just have McDonald's again, or you're a good boy, like. And again, that's not, if you do that, like, I know parents that think that that's bad. I don't think that's bad to me, but you've got to decide that for yourself. If you feel bad doing it, then it is bad. You know what I mean? So, but are these distractors are they controlling your kids? So up here, your shadows are controlling your family. Up here, your shadows are controlling your family and raising your family. And down here, these things are raising your family. The easy way, they're just, I just need a break. Just go play video game, right? Like sometimes that's necessary. And I think even up here, like yelling, like sometimes we're mammals. More than that, we're primates. Like we communicate and we understand, and there are certain frequent, like I'm not I've never hit my kids and I never will. Like I'm not that. And I use those voices. I use them on both sides, whatever. Anyway, so so those are the distractors and the detours. So like what's on the success highway? And the success highway, the confidence highway, the leadership highway, that's when you learn success principles. You study things like books called Think and Grow Rich, like Success Principles by a guy named Jack Canfield. He created the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. You read books by, success, Jim Rohn, like watch his videos, Tony Robbins, these giants and whatever your opinion is, oh, they're a scam. Listen to the message. They put enough stuff out there for free. We can listen to their messages. So the win cycle we talked about, that's on the success highway. That's the leadership highway. Well, it's not really leadership highway yet. Now it's the confidence highway, right? So your wins, using these tools and celebrating your wins each day and projecting what wins you want the next day and having it become like a lifestyle to celebrate, observe, and celebrate wins. And that leads to win cycles, as opposed to the guilt cycle that we looked at with the cycle breaker. That leads to good decisions. And you see how that works in the win cycle. Delayed gratification, that goes into the entertainment. Like, do I want to sleep in 5 more minutes or do I want to get up? Do I want to watch this YouTube video or do I want to do something to move my business forward? Do I want to sit here and just rest my eyes or do I want to build, like we talked about in the timeline lesson, do I want to create a connection? What do I want? Remember, we talked about the thing under the thing. What do I want right now? And we talked about, is it important or is it urgent? Sometimes resting my eyes is urgent and important because that way I can be refreshed for another thing. You know what I mean? So it all comes down to that. But what's on the confidence highway? Delayed gratification, right? Do I want this cheeseburger now or do I want to wait and have like a meal of vegetables and fish that makes me feel better later? You know what I mean? So delayed gratification, that's the path to success. Gratitude, huge. Wake up every morning, write a gratitude journal. Be grateful for things, anything you receive, be in receiving mode. All of that kind of stuff that you learn in like the success-minded success principles material, right? Do that stuff and be grateful that we're learning that. I'm grateful every day. Every time I have great interactions with my family, every day I think about moments and I'm like, I am so grateful to be aware of these things. And that's why I'm sharing it to you, and that's why I'm sharing it to the world because the world needs this because I'm so grateful for this every day. I'm like, dude, I'm so grateful to be aware of how I can raise my kids the way that feels the best. I can raise my kids to be in control of which direction they're pointed. And that's not to say like you run 100% rate and everything's perfect and you're controlling them like a video game, but no, you're just like kind of like teaching them. The same thing as a baby, like when you're like, oh, go get the zebra, go get the zebra. And then you put like little obstacle courses, go around there. Like what's different when we get on the confidence highway? That's where it becomes the leadership highway. But going back to gratitude, I'm so grateful to be aware because so many parents miss those little moments and those little opportunities. And that's opportunities for leadership, teaching them to walk. teaching them, like guiding them to growth. And same thing like mental growth, emotional growth. That's what we're doing, right? And when we learn these and then be grateful for it. And then when you're grateful for it, you get more of it. It's amazing. So that's a confidence highway. And then it becomes, when it becomes a lifestyle and you get to incorporate this with your family, this is what we do in our tools, in our frameworks, in our patterns that we do, that we use here. You share your wins. This becomes a lifestyle, and then you share it with your kids, with your partner, with your friends, and it just multiplies and grows, and your light grows as a lifestyle. And that's when you as a family, remember the thing under the thing in the timeline lesson, the thing under the thing, the family will grow. Even if you're set on divorce, but even in divorce, either you'll grow with your kids and she'll grow with her kids, or you grow together, or you will and he won't, or whatever your dynamic is. All we can control is what we control. We can control what we do. We can control what we think. We can control what we feel and how we view a situation. And as opposed to having a family out of control, we have more control because we realize and let go of things we can't control as much. Like if you've learned the 4 characters framework, the hero, villain, victim, guide framework. And then we can have a deeper idea of where we fit and where we go in this, on this highway, in this game of parenthood and life and leadership. So then when we, how do I do this? When we turn this into a leadership highway, and these become a way of life, celebrating wins, getting in the win cycle, being grateful for it. And it's not like you have to become preachy or evangelical about it, because it'll just happen. Your light will grow because your kids, it might, again, like the timeline, it's a long-term game. Especially if the teenagers, they have those hormones. If they're, toddler age, then they have their own growth. If they're preteens, they have their own individual cycles and struggles. But at least we are here in control, using the different tools, using the cycle breaker, using the 4 characters framework. We gain control and we can steer it back and have control of ourselves, because that's what a leader is. A leader is having control of ourselves and demonstrating and helping others up when they fall down. And that's really what it is. It's not protecting them from everything. It's helping them up when they fall down sometimes, guiding them the best way we can with the tools that we have, keeping ourselves on the path, and then helping them along the way, knowing they all have their own path. If they're a teenager and maybe they're out down this path, then it becomes, then you have to think, okay, like emotions separate, pattern interrupt separate, the cycle breaker, characters, time machine, what framework, but we want to separate from the emotion of it. Do that as much as quickly as possible, because the longer you wait, at least control it. Maybe give yourself 5 minutes to just be pissed off, whatever, depending on your situation, whatever, but get control of that and enter the situation as a leader using these tools or other tools that you find, whatever it takes. How am I gonna, what's the best approach to guide them to this way, right? And maybe it's not time. Teenagers are weird. We are human beings at that age. It's a weird time. You know what I mean? Every age, like 7, 8, 2, 10, 9, they have their their paths, but all we can do is all we can do. If we can stay on the confidence highway and be that example. So that's all we can do. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining me. And this has been fun.